Good evening, guys. Just doing analysis for weekly analysis for Gbpjpy. Today is 27th of January 2019. So this week is a big week for GBP because of Brexit voting taking place. And also, what I want to touch on is because it's really difficult to predict which way is likely to go, especially with Brexit. It just nothing is confirmed. It just market is just moving up and down on any sort of news, and at the moment GBP is just looking for any sort of good news, any kind of good news to rally. It's just looking for more of like excuses to get that and then just to rally. But the reason for that is I'll show you guys here. That is Gbpjpy. GBPUSD is done the very similar thing. It's pretty much hit the lowest point. Possibly the big bankers set the yearly price, and the way the price got rejected on GBP, this could possibly be the yearly lowest price we're going to see. And that is one of the reasons that market is just waiting for any sort of good news to just rally back. It's more at the moment it's recovering in a recovering mode. If you look at Gbpjpy, look at this rejection here. This could possibly be the lowest we're going to see this year. But then again, we need to understand what does actually Brexit mean for us to find a direction. Right, let's touch on a good deal, bad deal, no deal. It's just so confusing. Losing a vote, then market rallied, and that just doesn't make much sense to a lot of you, probably to a lot of you guys. That is because of she losing a vote means the possibility of no Brexit. No Brexit means good news for the pound. Maybe not for the Prime Minister, but for pound, it's a good news. So anything goes against the Prime Minister regarding the Brexit deal, it rallies because that is good news for pound. So if we don't know exactly what the outcome is going to be, the longer it's dragging on like this, the chances are we might see no Brexit. If this is the case with deal, then we'll see a recovery. And if there's no deal, likely we're going to see a market crash. That is the two things that are holding it. No deal means market is possibly make even another low GBP. And if there's a soft Brexit, then we're going to see quite a strong pullback. Market recovers all this last year's loss. And if it's a soft Brexit, market will possibly slowly recover, and just other things in between. So those are two things: is no deal, some kind of deal. Because at the moment there possibly be no deal. That is a scenario, a likely scenario as well. So we have to be watching out for what it's at the moment. It's really confusing, and it's not really following technical GBP, to be honest. And it'll be fooled to trade based on technical, especially what is happening right now. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. It doesn't make sense to probably be 90% of the people. That it probably doesn't make much sense, to be honest. Just the way is GBP and the way the Brexit is going, it just doesn't make much sense. All these guys should understand is no deal means it's going down. GBP is crashing down. If there's a deal, then we'll see recovery. That means it's a good news for pound. So those are two things that we should be focusing on. What are the likelihood of no deal, and what are the likelihood of some kind of deal? And if it comes down to another general election, that's only going to see more uncertainty. It's just going to go 100 pips up and down every days and every few hours. So we don't want to be in that situation. So it's still got like till, what is it? I forgot the date now. It's in March. What is it, March 31st, I think, around that time. the deadline date, but that might be extended. So if we extend, then we'll see GBP is slowly creeping out, creeping to the top, and then no deal means straight down. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to just mark up, wait for those levels, and see what are the news at the time at this level that will take a position. So this is, as you can see it there, I've just got two red line if you can see it, right? This here, this is more of a weekly trend line I've drawn there. So market is pretty much there now at 45, pretty much around 45. Yeah, that's when we're going to possibly see selling pressure, and that selling pressure could take price back down to 40. And this is the area that we should be focusing to look for buy. And right now, we do have a selling opportunity around this area. But this is where we'll be expecting at least a pullback. So you need to understand with GBP, when pullback take place, you're looking at 200-300 pips, because that's how Gbpjpy moves. So even if we get a short position, even around this area, I'll be waiting out for 45. I like to see a touch on 45. This is what I was waiting for on Friday as well. So it did touch 40 14480, and I did take a short-term position. I think I got out about 20-25 pips. But right now, we need to see how the market reacts here. We see a few more of rejection around this area, then we'll probably say pullback. Pullback could take price to 140, around 140, 141, around that area. We could see another test, and then market probably pause around here, wait for the news, and then we'll probably see this, or we'll probably see this. So right now is a good level at it's pretty much in a good level of resistance here. So we could expect quite a bit of selling pressure around this area. And let's move on to, this is daily. So let's move on to 4 hourly. This is another level of support here. So I'll be expecting market could come back and touch this, and then we see that move. Where is it? We could see around there, coming back, and then we'll probably see that one there. So roughly there, and then we'll probably see that move here. It's all depending on how the voting is going to go this week. So we'll wait. Those are levels we potentially sell around here. Even at current level, we will wait and see what is happening. The stop can be just above, and we'll look for short position. And we see going above, and then we'll possibly look for buying opportunity. So right now, this is what I'm expecting on this one, pullback. And depending on the news, we probably see before the news market dropping. We possibly see a market dropping before the news, before the voting, and then we'll probably see straight up or crashing down. So those are the two things. We're going to have opportunity on GBP. So we just have to, around that time, I'll be ready to take position. So let's see how that plays out, but we'll take position based on the voting. Right now, as I said, just doing a quick, my view is it's going to head towards 50 level. This is what I'm expecting around this area here, 49 to 50. This is what we're going to see. Any sort of good news, we're going to see the price around here. So this is the reason that we just have to wait patiently to see what is actually happening, and then we'll take our position.